Hello friend, welcome back to Auto Resource YouTube channel. I have here today 2014 fancy schmancy Outback. I said first fancy schmancy because it's limited. Look at those details. This is nicely lit. Look at that interior. This is beautiful, beautiful black interior. It came today for engine oil change, so if you want to see how I do that, stay with me in this video. And I will start the whole thing, the whole procedure up here in the engine bay. And I will open this filler plug, which actually nicely even says that we need 0W20 oil. I will just let it sit there and slightly pull the engine oil dipstick. And now I can go underneath the vehicle. Subaru is up in the air, so it gives me chance to show you that engine oil drain pack, and it's located conveniently right here. So I got here my oil catching pan, right, the used oil catching pan, and I have here the number 17 socket. Subaru is using 17 on these drain bolts, and I'm ready to loosen that drain bolt and start catching that used oil. Right now there is always gasket, so observe that. You will see that also. You want to catch that, right, or see if it's stuck to the oil pan. Oh look, this bolt actually doesn't want to go. See if a holding socket will help increase the torque on it. Yeah, interesting. There is that, I see that crusher washer, silver color, and the oil is about coming out. Come on, baby. That's a long bolt, this one, yeah. Nice, you see it? Might be hot, so be careful you don't burn yourself. Now you need to be patient, and you need that oil, give it some time to drain out of the engine oil pan. And this is one advantage, is you can see advantage why to do this by yourself, because in some loop spot, right, loop place, they don't have a time to stand around here and let that oil drain out completely, right, because if you wait here, it will be dripping even after 10 minutes. So they already plugged that, and they are already lowering the car and going to fill it up. So if you do it by yourself, you know you got out most of the oil. Here you can probably nicely see the detail of that drain bolt with that silver color crusher washer. So that's always recommended to replace with the new one, that silver crusher washer. And this is my friend's vehicle, right? So I have every single reason to do it as perfect as possible for them. So how do you get the most of the oil out of your engine? Well, you make sure that the engine is still hot, right? So they just dropped it off and I immediately started working on it. So when the engine oil is hot, it most likely more of it and faster will drain out, right? And then you take a time. You don't just open it and after 15 seconds or 30 seconds you are not putting the drain plug back, right? So I actually took my little break for my lunch, mechanic's lunch, which is instant soup in the bowl, right? And I waited as long as I could. And look at that. It's 25 minutes later after I opened that, and it's still dripping, right? It will still keep slowly dripping. I don't have a time to wait anymore, so I'm putting that plug back, right, by the hand, making sure the thread is perfect. You don't want to use any power tools on this ever, right? You just do it by the hand. And you can use the torque wrench for this, right? That torque will be approximately 40 Newton meters, or I use the small ratchet. Why the smaller than when I remove that? Well, I want to feel that bolt and that new crusher washer which I put there, I want to feel it nice. So I'm not using a long ratchet, just the short one, and this is my torque wrench, right, my arm after all those years. Now I know it's safe, it will not fall out, but I also know I didn't over tighten it, which could possibly lead in the stripping the thread inside of the oil pan. So you have to be careful for both those, but now I know it's perfectly done. I can lower the vehicle and continue up there. So I'm back in the engine bay and I need to replace this engine oil filter, right? Hopefully it was installed correctly and it's not over tight. I should be able to remove it by the hand, right? There's special procedure for it, but as you can see, there's absolutely no way for me to take it off. Somebody crazily over tied this. And this is really small filter, right? But I just need to help myself, so you can grab any tool which will just help you to start rotating it, right? Which immediately happens, fortunately. And I can continue by the hand, right? Now this filter finally gave up and I can fully remove that. Wonderful. Here you can see it. Here is my brand new replacement filter, so it's always good first clean up down there, right? You don't want to have any dust or dirt getting inside of the engine later. Also another thing, it's good to lubricate this rubber gasket, right? So there is a little bit of oil inside and tiny amount of the oil goes on that gasket, and that helps to install it correctly. Now I just catch the thread, right? And by the hand only, there's really no reason using any tools, just nice tight and snug, and I have new filter in the place. And I want to start filling the engine with that brand new engine oil. To minimize any possible spills, I brought a funnel, right? We already learned from that plug that we need 0W20, but how much of that 0W20? I will use this one today from O'Reilly. I believe this is a good quality oil. I made a video about it, about these details and so on, so this should work perfectly. And how much, how many quarts of the oil, where if you open the operating manuals, owner manual for this vehicle, it will tell you that this engine, when you are changing also the filter, takes 5.1 quarts. This is 5 quarts, so let's pour all of it in, and we will use the dipstick to check if it's enough or not. And yes, this engine is designed to use full synthetic 0W20. That's what is required for it. So I will highly recommend everybody to use that and not try to skip or save some money or using some different oil. I can rest it there this way, and that gives me time, right? It keeps dripping. It keeps draining the oil, so I can use all of it, and it gives me time to look around on the condition of the drive belt and if there are possible leaks or something else happening with this engine. And this dipstick will help me to confirm, or it's a tool to check the level of the engine oil. Of course, the vehicle has to be correctly parked, right, on the level surface. It cannot be uphill or downhill. Here are the marks on the dipstick, these holes. You can see them right here and here, and that's the upper and lower marks. So let's see if put 5 quarts, right, when we supposed to put 5.1, what 5 quarts did. And if you look with me, the oil is approximately 3 millimeters above the top mark. But we don't need to worry, we don't need to freak out that we overfilled this engine. It's not true. We will have to start it up and do the measurements later, right? And that will give us the real engine oil level. So I have dipstick nicely into place. I will install back this filler cap and I'm ready to start that engine. And when you do that initial startup after replacing that engine oil, it's always good to observe any possible engine oil warning lights. So let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, right there on the left, that oil. Let's see how fast it will go away after the startup. Very good, it disappeared really quickly, and now it's a good idea again, hop out and observe everything. It's all fine, I don't have any leaks around here or underneath the vehicle. And everything is fine in this case, so I will let it idle for approximately 1 minute and then I will shut it off. And if I want to make absolutely sure that the engine oil level is perfect after this change, I have to wait at least 5 minutes, and after that I can use the dipstick to confirm that the engine oil is on that upper mark. And that's all from me about this vehicle. I hope you find this video helpful, and please make sure you are subscribed. I will have always more about Subaru on this channel in the future coming your way. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, my friend.